This is a bit of an overview of the general contents of an electronics Goldmine G9321 electronic surprise box. This is the larger of the two ones that they have, and I got the bigger one because it was on sale for $7. There looks to be a lot of stuff in it. By the way, I've got a very severe case of allergies, hence the thing, and if there's any kind of explosive sneezing in the video, that's why. A number of these RCA bagged components for repair purposes, because there was actually a time when electronics was designed to be fixed, and RCA had a whole line of things to do it, whether it be their internal part number and a thing in a bag, of which I have a number of. But anyways, there were three of these, part number 243955. These are MPS 750 transistors. There's three of those. Another SAT23 package one right there, a little tiny thing. Well, by the standards of a lot of modern packages, it's huge, but I know I hate BGAs. And anything without exposed leads and high pin count through hole packages are your friend for things that you need to fix. Semiconductor industry, make them. Anyway, then there's a couple of these two diodes, which includes a data sheet. That's a yellow paper. 40 pin machined pin Dell chip socket, which is always useful. That right there is worth a couple of bucks, depending on the vendor. They're close to it. There's this 48 pin Dell, no idea what it is. Does have one of their part numbers on it. And there's 0 or 6 and 3.5. This thing probably like a memory controller or something. I don't know. Where you are. Then there's a couple of 2.2 ohm 1 watt power resistors there. A 2 ohm 2 watt power resistor. Guessing a 4.7 nanofarad ceramic capacitor. A couple of 0603 surface mount resistors. Might want to have to rework those. And a diode. Although this might be something else. TC is, I think, Thompson Consumer Electronics. Anyways, go to the other stuff. It had a couple of, or 4 of these stubby screwdrivers, keychain things. Always useful. A couple of surface mount, or no, these are, I think these are things where you need to attach your own wires, because I just got solder pads. Those are a couple of what I presume are electric microphones, some various 1/4 and 1/2 watt resistors, all kinds of different power transistors. A couple smaller ones, most of which are 2N5061s, if I recall correctly. Whole bunch of SO8 555 timers. There's that little tiny thing, I don't know what that is. 6912XAUT, have to look that up. Bunch of 10 nanofarad ceramics, more various ceramics, mostly in the nanofarad range. There's a 2.2 microfarad 450 volt lytic, a 10 millifarad 35 volt United Chemicon axial lytic, whole bunch of Cornell Dublier electric 6.8 microfarad 16 volt electrolytic capacitors, a couple of 1 microfarad ceramics, some 470 nanofarad ceramics, a 250 volt 22 microfarad Mallory axial electrolytic capacitor, all kinds of different electrolytics there, various 3.3 nanofarad chiclet film caps. There's a 22 nanofarad 1000 volt film cap, whole bunch of 200 volt AC. These not. So 3 microfarad, 200 volts AC. Film caps do not say X2 on them though, so I don't know if these are direct rated across mains or if they need to have something like a fuse. Plus 10, minus 5%, which is not unusual to see asymmetrical tolerances on capacitors, especially in the case of very big electrolytics where the main purpose is things like bus ripple suppression and filtering, in which case an oversized capacitor is actually good. So yeah, so there's probably underwriters laboratories rated this. I imagine these are probably in British standard, I think. I don't know. Which is where it means it's different. Theirs is 240 volts, so you obviously couldn't connect one of these across it. But anyways, just rambling. At this point, various diodes. One alkaline coin cell, but it's kind of bald, so I think this is probably shorted out by all the metal in it. There's a lot of metal in the box. There's a FR010 international rectifier, most likely either a transistor or a diode. Here's bridge wires. Whole bunch of 197 mil diameter PCB mount fuse clips, and I mean a whole bunch of them. Probably at least 100 there. A couple of 1 ampere quarter-inch diameter by 1 1/4 inch fuses. 5 various rotary encoders, and I imagine probably some kind of a quadrature arrangement or something. Bunch of buttons, number of different relays. A panel mount neon lamp. Whole bunch of LEDs and a couple of panel mount bezels. Although this one, I don't know if it is in fact an LED, because if you look at the thing inside it, the die doesn't exactly look. Come on. Like when you'd expect to see in an LED, there's supposed to be some kind of a structure on that, so it might be, I don't know if it's some kind of a blinking LED that has light, or that has some kind of blinking structure on the actual die, but usually those just have an external semiconductor device. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, that is some kind of intelligent LED now that I see it. I think it might be one of these 3-color ones, because you can see there's the controller chip. Focus, you turd. And there's 2 LEDs there, and there's that third bond wire is just likely the power connection with the controller. So that is some kind of a blinky LED. And there was a couple of whole bunch of orange ones with a cropped short leads. Also a whole bunch of red T1 LEDs, number of these rectangular ones. And what else? And there's this thing, which is I think it's probably either blue or green, judging by the 2 bond wires on each die. That's something you see on I think indium gallium nitride. No, aluminum. No. Bloody allergies. Indium gallium nitride LEDs, which are usually grown on a sapphire substrate, which is non-conducting, so those you typically see bond wires for both sides. Aluminum, indium gallium phosphide, as well as things like gallium arsenide, dimmer indicator grade LEDs. Those, the substrate is electrically conductive, so those just have a single bond wire. And why are you not focusing? Anyways, yeah, you can see that. I think this is probably intended for using these on like 9 volts or something, because the resistor is fairly low value. I'll have to check that. There's this kind of what I think is probably maybe something like a thermal switch, because it's only got 2 contacts. I've seen automotive relays like this, but those, I mean, it's obviously some kind of a switch from the current rating, unless it's a fuse, but this casing is metal, not plastic, and that forms one of the contacts. Then there's this some kind of intelligent push button or something. It's got a whole bunch of resistors in series on the back, as well as a 4-pin 100mm pin pitch header, a couple of lands on the a couple little circles on the PCB for obviously some kind of testing. And then the front's just got this shiny brass plated-ish thing with a to remove. That's just on a piece of plastic covering the surface of it so that it remains shiny before it's installed. And obviously it's some kind of a light up LED, but a light up LED kind of button, but I'll have to analyze that further. And a whole bunch of these switches. These are spring return to center single pole double throw center off switches. Also a whole bunch of these 79mm pin headers. These are pin sockets for headers, and there's a number of these 100mm pin pitch headers which are useful. Number of barrel connectors. Again, useful, a mixture of a through hole and surface mount. There's a surface mount one for you. Complete with the alignment pins. Those just go in holes in the PCB just to keep the thing from shifting around during solder reflow. And there are also 5 of these adhesive backed LED lenses. I think probably for Cree LEDs, judging by that. At least the footprint looks like it's for Cree. But anyways. So yeah, and of course a whole number of PCB mount trim pods. And switches. Well, more switches. All in all, recommended. Oh, and 2 little incandescent indicator lamps. Little green of wheat ones.